Hello students, today in history, we'll be looking at the similarities and difference between the Mali, Ghana and Songhai Empire. In our last demos, we've talked about the Mali Empire, the Ghana Empire, the Songhai Empire. We talked about their location on the map, their features, their characteristics. We also talked about the factors that led to their rise and to their fall. So today we'll be comparing these empires. We'll compare them and we also know the difference between these three empires. Let's start with the similarities. The Ghana, Mali and Songhai were located in the western region of Africa, south of the Sahara Desert, near the Niger River. Another similarity was that they were all West African empires that existed during the medieval period. They were similar in that they were all based on trade and had strong centralized governments. After Ghana, the Empire of Mali rose to power, and after Mali came Songhai. The three of them together dominated West African history for some 900 years. These kingdoms were among the wealthiest in the world in their time. The Ghana, Mali and Songhai empires had social structures based on trade and commodity production, with ruling classes that wielded considerable power and wealth, while the majority of people were very poor. This was the hierarchy of the Songhai, Mali and Ghana empires. Their hierarchy they had the ruling class, and the ruling class were the ones who wielded power over, they had wealth, they controlled the wealth of these empires. While the majority of the people were very poor. Some of the similarities too I will still be looking at under this topic is that the Ghanaian Empire, the Malian Empire and the Songhai empires all declined due to weak leadership that disrupted their control over the trans-Saharan trade routes. This led to economic decline, increased external threats, and the rise of competing politics that escalated warfare, disrupting further trade. When the founders of these empires passed on, the people who took over leadership did not have the type of insight the founders of these empires had. So their leadership was weak, and because of that they did not have control over the Saharan trade routes. This gave way for invaders, other neighboring countries to be able to invade their country, and it led to their economic decline. This was some of the factors that led to the downfall of these empires. They benefited from gold, salt. They benefited from the gold and salt trade. These three empires benefited from the gold and salt trade, and these were the commodities that helped them rise to power. They were influenced strongly by trade, and the trade we are talking about is the gold and the salt trade. They were collectively known as the kingdoms of gold and salt. These three kingdoms formed the trans-Saharan trade network. Now let's look at the differences between these three empires. The Ghana controlled the gold mines. Mali was rich in gold and salt, and Songhai had access to important trade routes and resources like gold and salt. This is one of the differences. Another difference was that Ghana was the smallest of the three empires. Songhai was the largest empire, and Mali was slightly smaller than Songhai. So Songhai was the largest, followed by Mali, then Ghana. Another difference between these three empires was that Ghana was ruled by Malic leaders, while Mali was ruled by Sonic leaders. Ghana was mostly animist, while Mali had a Muslim following leadership. Ghana was influenced by Arab architecture, while Mali was not. further difference under this topic. However, these three empires differed in terms of their political structures and the extent of their territorial control. Despite everything they had in common, they still differed in their political structures and the extent of their territorial control. Another difference was that the Songhai Empire was centered around its capital city of Gayo, while the Mali Empire lacked central cities and had numerous small towns and villages. When we talked about the features of the Mali Empire, we said that the Mali Empire has small towns which it rules together, while the Songhai Empire had its capitals at the Gayo. So this was one of the differences between these two empires. This has brought us to the end of this topic, or this discussion on the similarities between the Songhai, the Mali, and the Ghanaian Empire. Let's look at the assessment section. State two similarities between the Mali, Songhai, and Ghana Empire. Question number 2. State two differences between the Mali, Songhai, and Ghana Empire. Drop your answer at the comment section. That will be all for today. Thank you for watching and see you in our next demo.